to get over a loss and get ready to focus on the future?
Well, I think you're always focusing on the future. You're always, I think you get you don't forget about things. You move on. I can go back years and years, and probably 20 years worth of games that still hurt. But that's part of football, unfortunately. And we got to bounce back, and we got a big week ahead. We got a big season ahead, and we just got to get back on the practice field and get to working our butts off.
A game like Clemson, where they were just able to march up and down the field. Come back this next week in practice. What do you look to change, or do you look to make a lot of changes in practice?
Well, I mean, we have, our players, are what the core of what we're doing. So, it's a lot of his execution. There were some late plays in that game that are just can't happen. When the yard total and point total gets just out of control. I thought the first half of the game, the big play in the second quarter, the double move was a big play that I thought we were prepared for. But we got to get back to work. I mean, there's no magic. If there's magic, everybody would have it figured out. We got to work hard. We got to play the way we're capable of. We got to execute the call.
Who do you think they learned more than anything out of that game when you watch the film, and what do guys learn? And you learn more from a loss, obviously, than a win.
Yeah, I think every time that you go on the field, it's effort is mandatory. Effort's got to be mandatory, and then execution. That's where you see the good teams execute over and over and over again. And there were some calls that I thought we were in the right position. We just got to go through and execute, make the play, talk through the communication of what we're trying to do.
How much does fatigue play a factor there in the second half, and how do you combat that if you do get the game where the defense is out there quite often?
Yeah, I think we're on the field for 20 minutes and 58 plays, which unfortunately was our own doing. The longer those games go, fatigue becomes an issue. If you start getting to those 90s, 100s, we were trying to start early with a pretty good rotation of getting guys in the game. But we got to be able to get off the field if we want to get a spell.
Alexander's status for this week? Has he been out at practice at all?
That's all Coach Petrino. Coach talks on all that.
Henry was just in here. Can you talk about what he talked about? Making some plays in practice that he felt like to get himself more reps and get on the field. What's he done to get the more reps the last 2 weeks?
He's demonstrating ability on the practice field. Which is what practice is for. We need to play players based on demonstrated ability, and he's shown that he is starting to make those plays. He's being more physical. He's playing with some effort the last several weeks, and when you do that, you're going to get more play time.
It gives you more depth up there when he's playing at that level, doesn't it?
Sure, it does. You never have enough big interior players. So, what Katie was talking about, just the amount of reps. If you have some big guys that can go, it's going to benefit you late.
They talk about that 24-hour rule. Do you feel like their mentality this week and these few days of practice have been good, focusing on Penn State, not looking back?
Yeah, I don't think we're looking back. I think it's still affecting us, but our eyes are forward. And we're talking about what we need to do and how we need to get better. The game behind us is a revelation of what we need to do better and how we need to improve. But I'm confident those guys are looking where they need to be on Saturday afternoon.
Do you like
what do you mean by affecting you still? Where have you seen the effects of things?
Well, anytime you go out and you put a lot of work into something and it doesn't go the way you want it to, I'm not saying we're walking out there with heads down, but there's a focus, there's an energy in the building right now that we got to get this thing going. We got to play up to the capability. So that's what I mean by what that feeling is.
What was your message to them, knowing that there was that feeling?
What I told them early in the week is, you can't let yesterday ruin tomorrow. Like I said, we got to learn from it, and we have learned from it, and we got to apply those lessons the next time we go out and the lights turn on. We got to go out and execute. We got to play our ass off.
In looking at the film and going back over it, was there any positives that you could take away? You talk about execution and effort. Were there players that you saw that were doing that, and that could end up seeing more time, more repetition?
There were some guys playing well, but unfortunately this is a team business, and in that kind of performance, I have a hard time singling anybody out for doing something that we're living and dying together as a defense. So until we all do it right, then we're not doing it the way we need to be doing it.
Coach talked about getting some younger guys in and hopefully being able to put them into some situations where they're under fire. You've played quite a few of them, but do you anticipate maybe even more or getting those guys more reps as we go along?
Well, we've kind of known throughout this process that there was going to be a great opportunity for a lot of those young players to get on the field, and everybody matures. Not everybody's ready to go game one, so that's a kind of a rollout process of, are they ready game 4? Are they ready game 6? Are they ready game 7? And then ultimately too late in the season, then you got to make another adjustment of, is the number of reps they're going to get justify their year.
As coaches, do you guys ever use other teams as example, like Florida State came in here last year and got killed, and then go on to like have a reality check and make it to the Orange Bowl? Is that something that you guys talk about, or not really?
That's not something that I brought up, but I know there's a lot of different situations. There's a lot of different examples you can go through. And one, obviously, they lived just the last year. That's a real world example. I'm all about what we're doing, and I'm not big into pulling somebody else's.
You don't work with him directly, obviously, but Juwan has. What have you seen from him in practice?
But I would be talking out of my